How's it going, everyone? And welcome back. So I felt a little bad for making you all wait for the Last of Us review, you know, taking a year or so. So I figured I'd kind of make a quick video and also a thank you for putting up with my shenanigans. Plus it gives me a bit more time between other projects, so the wait won't be as long. I hope. Without further ado, let's begin the video and get into today's subject. Reality TV. A magical part of television that is more or less complete garbage. When people like Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan's can have cameras following them and people will just eat that shit up regardless of their quality. I was never interested in the Jersey Shores or Kardashians, but I had a select few that I stuck around for and some that I still watch to this very day. But do you know the one person who I associate with the food service industry and is known for screaming at the top of his lungs? No, but I do like him too. I was more talking about this guy. Gordon Ramsay. A Michelin-star restaurateur who has made a name for himself with his very successful dining establishments and dozens of #1 selling cookbooks. If you ask any random Joe on the street what they know from him, it would probably be from his many appearances on TV with shows ranging from Kitchen Nightmares, MasterChef, Hotel Hell, and the main talking point for today, Hell's Kitchen. It's your standard cooking competition where a number of contestants rise through the ranks to see which is the best of the best. The difference, however, is that Gordon Ramsay is in the room critiquing their performances, and let's just say he has a certain way of making his feelings known.
Listen. Fuck off. Get out. A black jacket, you need a straight jacket.
Overcooked on the bottom, crispy as fuck, and it looks like Gandhi's flip-flop.
His insults have persisted in the minds of viewers everywhere, and after 22 seasons, it's still as entertaining as ever. And as you should know, when something becomes popular, video game companies like to dig their claws in and try to cash in on that fad. In a time where any show was able to get a game made about them, somebody at Ubisoft thought it was a good idea to do the same with this show. The game was developed by Ludia, who has also worked on series like How to Train Your Dragon, Jurassic Park, and The Price is Right. I know, I'm kinda confused too. The game released in September 2008 for the Wii, PC, and Nintendo DS, which is actually where I first experienced this myself. I bought the Wii version a few years back, and I'd been waiting for the right opportunity to talk about this. Besides that one-off I did for my LP channel. Obviously I'll be going over the Wii port for this video, but I might just save the other two for a revisited episode later down the line. So with all that gone over, let's begin with the story. Oh yeah, right. Reality show. Gameplay! So just to give you an idea how this works, a customer will show up and after taking their order, the ticket will go into the kitchen and when you cut up all the ingredients and cook it, they'll eat it, leave, the waiter will put their plates to the side and lather, rinse, repeat. You might have just thought I was talking about a normal restaurant, which is true, but that's also the general premise for the game itself. It's all about time management when you're acting as both the chef and the waiter, so the stress certainly makes its way in, especially later on when you have 4 tables at once. It doesn't help too that you have Gordon in the corner judging you for every move you make, which will either please him or send him into a rage.
He brings that pissing over, and the big surprise is the fucking bass is fucking raw!
At the end of a level, you're awarded a number of stars, with 5 keeping you in good graces, or 1 star that points out how much of a failure you are. That's really it as far as gameplay is concerned. It's all to test to see if you're any good at multitasking, really. One thing that bugs me is the cursor, however. Sometimes it feels like it has a mind of its own, so when it comes to putting recipes in the pan or moving it to the hot plate, it becomes slightly irritating. If you want a tip, pay attention to the switch rooms button, because it'll go a long way in helping you out. Okay, let's move on to the other stuff. Let's start with career mode since that's the main portion of the game. As mentioned before, you're rewarded with stars depending on how well you do, and you need a certain amount of stars to progress to the later parts of the game. There are 35 levels in total that are laid out like a calendar. Each week requires a certain total of stars, so hope like hell you don't suck at the early portions of the game. Most of what you'll be doing is the one-man army scenario, but they do change it up every once in a while. There's an arcade mode, which is just a score attack to see how many dishes you can make, and there's not much else to say there. You can have a buddy tag along with you, where you can either work together or compete against each other. It's essentially another version of arcade mode, so who cares? One of the game's selling points is the real recipes you can use from Gordon himself. You unlock them as you keep playing, and there's a whole menu dedicated to them, which is kinda neat. Now you can cook something without ordering out, you lazy fuck. Sorry, that just came out of nowhere. You can watch a promo video for Season 5 if you care about that sort of thing. That's neat, isn't it? Graphics are just bad. The customers that walk in are mannequins and the environments look like flat JPEGs. It seems that all the budget went into Gordon's model and he doesn't look pretty.
Look at that! It's like a bison's penis. What is that shit?
They did get Gordon to record some lines, which is a nice touch. Besides his dialogue sounding flat, he's just repeating the same few lines so often it becomes mind-numbing. Music is generic, but really catchy oddly enough. It's stock sounding, which resembles nothing from the actual show, but I like what's being played here. The main tracks that stick out to me are the main menu and the dining room theme. I think I covered pretty much all of it. So let's get into our final thoughts. Hell's Kitchen the game is just bad, and as a Ramsey mega fan, I'm telling you not to play this. The best way I can describe this is that it's what I wanted, but it also feels nothing like what the show actually is. The gameplay gets extremely repetitive quick, but the trade-off is good music and Gordon berating you, which even things out. Besides a revisit, I don't find myself looking for a reason to play this because it's just nothing, really. If you're a super fan, you probably already own this. But for everyone else, just leave it be.
That has been 1 hour and 40 minutes for 4 starters. And personally, I wouldn't laugh or scream or start wetting your knickers because that is fucking embarrassing.
Yes, chef.
So for the next special review, I'm kind of holding off until September for reasons that I don't want to get into right now, but I'll let you know at some other date. In the meantime, though, we still have plenty of other things to talk about on my other playlists, game reviews, revisits, movie reviews. It's a lot of good stuff coming, but, until then, I'm kind of hungry. I'll be right back.
One humongous meal later.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.